The Louie Bellina Show, final hour Thursday. Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, Residential, Commercial, and Industrial Services. It's what they do at CC Electric. We're joined now, as we do, Thursdays, 1 o'clock on the D4 Land Services hotline. Rusty Burson. He's an Aggie historian. He's an author. He's a dude. Rusty, what's up, dude?
Just got my beat the hell out of OU vibe going for today and the whole weekend.
I was going to say, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I had to pause myself and go, wait a minute. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Big 12 country. Let's go. Let's beat the hell out of OU, man. And I say that with love in my heart. I'm one of those who didn't hate the Big 12. I loved the Big 12. I loved being able to drive down the road, and I love the SEC and would never go back. I always have to clarify that because people freak out, and OU, Oklahoma State, was part of the fun of the Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been there many times and have many very, very unpleasant memories of going to Oklahoma. But there were a few good ones.
Wait a minute. Unpleasant memories? They have casinos? Okay, that's the only pleasant memory I have because the food was minorly good. You could find a couple of places. The state was awful to drive in, and Norman is not that impressive of a town. So, but they had casinos. There you go.
Yeah, Oklahoma City has
fair.
Pretty good restaurants. I mean, there's a couple good steak places there, and I remember when they used to have the Big 12 baseball tournament there in Bricktown, and that was convenient. I like that, but I still remember 77-0, and whenever time I cross that Red River and you get the red dirt, I don't know, it's not the most beautiful state in the world. We'll just say that.
No, I'm down with that concept. And you know what's funny? I'm thinking of Norman and Stillwater, where each have their moments, but they're fleeting and not many. But Oklahoma City's like cheating. That's a real city, and you're right. You stay in OKC, quite a few places to eat. And okay, what was the name of the restaurant at the top of the ballpark? It's Sarge's or Coach's? Was it Coach's?
Yeah, it might have been Coaches, yeah.
And simple. I'm not going to say that's like Chef Ramsay, Gordon, Chef Flay or any of those, but that was a great place just to have a beer or something to eat with your friends and watch the game. It worked very well.
There was a great steak place down in downtown, too, DiMaggio's. It was really good.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. Yeah. They didn't just have steak. They actually, believe it or not, which struck me as weird, the crab cakes. They actually had really awesome crab cakes.
Yeah, and I got to put that on the 12th Man Foundation expense report, so that was good. Those were the days, right?
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know what an expense report is because I work in radio, but I understand how good the crab cakes were.
Yeah, well, that was just the double bonus that I was working, and so I got to put things like that on the expense account.
So when you turn that expense account in and they see that, you kind of went, well, I was hosting people. It was for the good of the magazine?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Actually, usually my bosses were with me, so they kind of they knew it.
All right, fair enough. Aggie hoops tonight. I don't feel urgent. I just feel more entertained because I believe they're 100% in no matter what happens. Oklahoma for the third time. A&M was obviously the better team both times. I'm in this weird vibe to enter the game. I just kind of want some popcorn and to kick my feet up.
I think it's going to be close. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's just no doubt it'll be close. And then, I mean, I don't know. Oklahoma's got so much to play for. I agree with you that A&M's in. I don't really know how much these tournaments really affect. Unless somebody wins it and he's not expected to win it, and that eliminates somebody else in a different conference, and so to speak. What happens today? I mean, Miami of Ohio, they're still in, right? I mean, they lost today, though.
For those that don't know, because I meant to mention it and got lost, right? We have our first madness of March. 31-0, Miami of Ohio got upset by UMass, the number 8 seed in their conference tournament. So our first official, the madness is here, has come in.
Miami of Ohio, I mean, they're number 20 in the nation. I'm sure that loss will drop them out of the top 25. I don't know if it drops them out of the tournament. I don't think so. I mean, but there it is. I mean, there's another team in that MAC. Obviously, that Max could possibly have two instead of just one. So,
bid stealer. Bid stealer.
I'm sorry, what?
A bid stealer. Because now that league, their champion's going to steal a bid that should have been Miami of Ohio because it should have been a one-bid league. Now it's a two-bid league.
Right. So that probably hurts it. I mean, I think it hurts Texas. So, that would really break my heart if UMass took the place of Texas.
For those that don't follow college basketball beyond A&M, Miami, Ohio has been a source of debate. Like an ESPN bracketologist, when they were 29-0, had them on the bubble, which kind of makes almost no sense to anyone. If I'm not mistaken, and I have not checked over the past 4 days because I don't care about Miami of Ohio that much, they haven't played a quad one team all year. It's not like they've lost or beat one. They just haven't played a quad one team, which really affects kind of your net ranking and everything. Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to all go down, but it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it is. I find myself, I know they're playing OU tonight, and then maybe Arkansas tomorrow, which is my expectation. I'm just kind of waiting for Selection Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it. I would feel, don't know if this. I just don't know. I'm like kind of with you in terms of how I view this game tonight. It's not pivotal, but it sure wouldn't hurt. If A&M were to win this thing, does it get them out of that 8-9 matchup? I don't know.
If they lose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because then they'd go 10 maybe. If they win, they go from 9 to 8. And then they'd have to beat Arkansas maybe to go 8-7.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking. I mean, it's interesting things happen right now too. I mean, I see that Kentucky's up big on Missouri with 12 minutes. They're up 12. So, who knows? Kentucky is. I mean, I thought they were pretty much a bubble team coming in, even though their name is Kentucky. But if they handle Missouri today, what does that do to Missouri? I mean, because that's a bubble team too, right?
Missouri has spent life all over the bubble. They have occupied every spot on the bubble the entire year, and they have way too much talent for that. I would be new coach searching if I was Missouri. They've got way too much talent for the life they've led.
Yeah, when I saw them in person against A&M, I was like, dude, this team is really good. I thought A&M played a great first half, but Missouri, to me, was like, it's a more talented team than A&M, and yet they finished below A&M in the SEC. So, you never know. That's why they play the games, right?
A&M finished. I was about to say was A&M hoops Bucky Ball finished tied for fourth, and Texas beat them at the end, and then went on to lose 3 straight. Missouri beat them. Missouri finished below them. It's an odd year, man. It's an odd year. They finished 11-7, and of the 7 losses, there was another 4. Was it 5 games that, maybe could. I'm not going to say shoulda. There's only one game in those losses that are shoulda for me. But a coulda, they coulda won 4 or 5 more. Coulda. Now they coulda lost 3 more, but they coulda won 4 or 5 more. Am I being fair?
No, I think you're being totally fair. Which one did you say is the one that they should not have lost?
Missouri just make layups. See, because you can break down games and go, well, they didn't shoot X%, and then the dog barked, and a referee hit a man, and no. Missouri was just make layups. They didn't have to do anything else. They were inexcusably inefficient and missed shots they just should have. There was no other excuse in Missouri. That they should have won that one. That's the one that they should not have lost.
As good as A&M has been this year, they sure do miss a bunch of shots in the paint. They just really, almost every game, they miss a bunch of shots in the paint. Like, come on, finish.
A lot of times they hurry up because of the size differential.
Yeah.
And you just see that, they don't comfortably. I know it's a layup. A layup's a layup. I don't want to misdefine a layup and make it harder than it sounds, but a lot of times you could just see they hurry up, they're pressured, they just rush the easy shot because they know the size differential. And when they don't, they get blocked a lot too, don't they?
Yeah, Marcus Hill has no fear, but he also has no size.
True.
But I salute him for going in there, but sometimes he just forgets that he's not very tall.
we're talking about March Madness, and this isn't necessarily an upset, but Iowa State is pounding Texas Tech by 22 right now.
I saw that too, man. This is why March is so much fun, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I thought, Tech is I think Tech was the higher seed, weren't they?
Yeah, it's a 4-5. But
Okay.
yes, 4-5,
Yeah.
and Tech's the 4.
Well, you just never know, and that's why they play these things. But, man, 65-43 is the last time I saw.
Are you telling me that's why they play the games? Can I quote you on that? Can we make like Louie Bellina show posters?
I'm
That's why
sorry.
they play the games, Rusty Burson?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'd never thought of it from that angle before. I'm going to ask Bucky and Michael early about that. Coach, is that why we play the games?
Yeah, I got my one phrase today, I guess. Sorry about that.
No. It's a day of revelations here on the Louie Bellina show. I thought they played the games for the revenue. So, Rusty's giving us a whole new angle on this thing. Aggie baseball is going down to Norman. That's somewhere in Oklahoma. I find myself fascinated. I think we're going to have a lot of education, learning to do. They could have only done one game better, but every other way you want to measure and examine, they passed every test. They did all they can do. I'm excited for things to get real.
Yeah, I am too, because I really want to see what this team is really made of. Because we've really only seen one weekend of really good opponents, right? And they run ruled a team. They got run ruled. And, they won a hard-fought game on a Sunday. But I'm excited for a lot of reasons. We talked last week that Bear Harrison, was below the Mendoza line. Now he's hitting 250, and his on-base percentage is .519, and that's higher than anybody else in the starting lineup. I mean, so when that guy's getting on that much, that's your catcher. That's pretty much your bottom of your lineup, right? And so 519 is pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. No. That will lead the team if he finishes at 519.
Yeah, I mean, Keel's 515 and Pardita is 500. But he's 519, and there's guys on there that have played, a game or two, right? But he's played 13 games and started 13 games, and he's still on base 519. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And the pitching, they haven't been challenged necessarily the hardest, but again, you can only grade by the scale of what they faced. And the Aggie pitching to me has been a revelation, because I thought they'd be good, but they haven't been good. They've been phenomenal, nothing short of phenomenal so far.
Yeah, I mean, the one question I have is Weston Moss, and so he's been up and down, but he took that loss in that UCLA game, and boy, that team is really good. That was a deep lineup. We talked about that last time too, because I sat there and watched that game. I was like, man, there's a reason they're number one. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that might change later in the season, but that time, that day, that lineup was scary good.
Yeah. Okay. The whole fascinating part just about that, that lineup was scary. And you say even with Weston Moss, then by now that he's maybe not, or he's working himself in shape, not necessarily ready. So you have to be, not short arm, but you just have to be ready to short hook him. Okay? He can still work it out each weekend, but there's no reason to push or extend. First sign of trouble, you just got to go to Saturday's your big pen day.
Yeah. But as questionable as he's been, Aiden Sims has been brilliant. So that's still your Sunday guy. He's been fantastic. Much better than I even anticipated. And overall, I think the pitching has just been better than I thought it would be. And so, yeah, very, very excited. Fresh Corn has made a few appearances and hasn't given up anything, and he's been fantastic. So, I'm excited to see what this team is really all about, and I think we start figuring it out this weekend.
If you can go a whole week, 4 games, and not walk anyone, you've got my attention. That's it. I don't even care who you play. I don't care if it's an inter-squad scrimmage. If you can go 4 straight games and not walk anyone, you've made a statement for me.
No doubt about it. I mean, because that's what gets you in trouble. And it got this team in trouble a lot last year, too. So very, very excited about, I think I heard this right, that A&M leads the country in strikes to walks ratio, or I guess what was it? Strikeouts to walks ratio. So
they've got to. They don't walk anyone. I mean, even if their strikeout rate was average, their walk rate is so low. They'd have to, don't they?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I'm looking at this right now. They've got I don't know if these are updated, but they've got 133 strikeouts and 23 walks. That's elite.
I was talking to Cedric Golden. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's the Texas Sports Writer of the Year and an all-around pretty cool dude. April, 10th, 11th, 12th, Texas A&M, and this is a potential 2 top 10 teams. You know, well, A&M's 22. We'll see where they go from here. And Schloss's first return, right? Oh, the potential for that. I mean, seriously, too. The potential for that is rather insane, is it not?
Yeah, it's a long ways away, though. But, yeah, that's very, very...
Is Texas ever a long way away?
You know what? I just took great delight in watching them lose last night. It was just, I don't know. They, deep down, I figure they'll probably find a way in the tournament, but I sure hope not.
Well, okay. Lenardi, bracketology updated as of 1 a.m., which is after the loss. They're at 11. Now, you're at the whim and whimsy of the committee. You're at the whim and whimsy of the entire bubble. So you shouldn't be sitting there at the 11 seed already making travel plans. But Lenardi, bracketology, 11, they're still in.
Yeah, well, hopefully, like we said earlier, hopefully something like this Miami of Ohio loss knocks them out.
Breaks my heart. Just throwing it out there. Absolutely breaks my heart. Hey, quick timeout, come back. And hey, you want to talk some MLB?
Sure, let's do it.
So do I. Rusty Burson, Aggie historian, on the D4 Land Services hotline. D4 Land Services, they do land. Wait, what? It's in the title, Land Services. They'll fix it up. They'll clear it. They'll excavate it. They do pond construction, forestry, mulching. Check it out at d4landservices.com. d4landservices.com. This is the Louie Bellina Show. True. Thursday on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Don't ask unless you want the truth, because
you can't handle the truth.
Weekdays, 11 to 2 on the Zone.
Sometimes I sit here and I listen to Let My Love Open the Door, and I flash back to the old KTSR 92.1 Nothing But Rock, y'all. It's where I started as a horrible rock and roll DJ, and I'm like, oh, I just want to listen to this. But then I'm like, yeah, I'd be fired for that too. Welcome back to the Louie Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. We're hanging out with Rusty Burson. He's an Aggie historian. He's an author, and he hangs out with us Thursdays on the D4 Land Services hotline. Rusty, Major League Baseball is sooner than we think. It is March 12th, and the first games are like 20-something. I mean, we're like at the 2-week mark before the season begins. Where are you at? I know Aggie Sports is kind of consuming us with Bucky Ball and SEC play beginning, but where are you at with MLB starting up? Are you World Baseball Classic obsessed? Where are you at, brother?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be interesting to see if the Rangers can have a bounce-back year, because they so underachieved last year offensively, and I think their pitching staff can be really good again. I so far have been following Leiter and Rocker in spring training, and they're making progress. But again, it's going to come down to, can they swing the bat? Can they get production out of some guys that didn't produce last year? Jake Berger, Jack Peterson. And can they stay healthy? Can they get Josh Young back? And can they get Seager for, let's say, 100 games? I don't know. Will Wyatt Langford take the next step? I don't know any of those, but I'm looking forward to it. And I did watch a little bit of Team USA, Watched him play Mexico. Thought Cal Raleigh was ridiculous for not fist bumping a Rosarina at the plate. I was like, dude, why do you want to be a turd when you're about to play 162 games with this guy? I mean, he's a teammate.
He was locked in. You know what locked in means. When you're locked in, you're locked in.
It's baseball.
Locked in.
It's not.
Locked in.
They're never locked in Major League.
In.
If you watch them at first base, they're always joking around. Go watch highlights of Adrian Beltre and tell me he was locked in.
He was awesome.
He was awesome. Yeah.
But
he
Cal
had
Raleigh,
fun.
locked in.
Yeah, I'm ready to see him take a nosedive.
Wow. You know what? I agree with you because he's a Mariner. So,
yeah.
In principle, I'm with you, but locked in.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was stupid, but I don't blame a Rosarina for kind of, calling him out on that too.
Tell him like your wife's food sucks and I don't like you. Just make it personal. I would.
Yeah.
If you're my teammate and that's your reaction, I'm sorry. It's going to get medieval. I'm with a Rosarita there. But I'm just telling you, locked in.
Where are you at with the Astros?
Okay. Every third day, I get fired up in the winning the World Series. And then I read the IL and go back to reality moments. Because, Pena couldn't play in the World Baseball. No, Carlos Pena. Because he already has a fractured some part of his finger. Josh Hader is going to start the year on the IL. And it's just bringing back every nauseating experience from last year. Look, I know they have a team that could go to the World Series and lose in 4 to the Dodgers. I know that. They're the best team in the American League if they're 100% healthy. But to start the year like this is just like, if. So, I know the Astros have a base team that can beat everyone in the American League. Nobody's going to beat the Dodgers. That's fine. But, man, it's frustrating again
to say
already
that.
have this.
You say that, but the Blue Jays came awful close to beating them last year. So in any 7-game series, anything can happen. So, Toronto was so close to beating them. And you know what? I'll take the field this year.
I'll take the Dodgers.
Okay.
You know
what? It's probably a wise bet, but I just think it's time for somebody to rise up and dethrone the Dodgers.
I'm excited to see the new arms that the Astros got. I have a lot of reason to be excited, and then someone goes on the IL. Last year was absurd. They had, I don't know if it's 13, 14, but they had more starting pitchers than anyone. It was the Player of the Week IL edition last year.
Right.
I just don't want that, but to already start with Hader down and again Pena and it's so fatiguing. They have the worst outfield I've ever seen in baseball, I think.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Mariners' starting rotation is just so stinking good again. Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu, and Bryce Miller, Texas A&M, Bryce Miller, George Kirby. Those guys are just they're tough, and I hate playing. I hate watching those games against the Mariners because the Mariners just seem to own the Rangers. It's weird because I think the Astros do pretty well against the Mariners, don't they?
Traditionally, unless they're in the lead with 2 games to go. But yeah, traditionally speaking, that kind of thing. Hey, question for you. Which player would you pick for the Texas Rangers? And the list I saw kind of went dark horse, more or less, but to be breakout this year, because I thought it was fascinating. They did every team in MLB.
Breakout. If he stays healthy, I'd pick Evan Carter. But I think Josh Smith may be on his way to a breakout season too. He's the everyday second baseman now. He was good enough last year as a hitter to make the All-Star team last year. I didn't finish that way, but he had a great first half. But he played at 7 different positions, so they didn't he didn't get any votes because he didn't have a position. So I'd take one of those 2 guys.
They said Carter Baumler.
Yeah, I've read a lot about him in terms of having a great spring, but I don't know much about him.
Well, he's a Rule 5 pick. He's kind of on the dark side, and he only threw like 88 innings over 4 years, but he's analytically this potential that if he's ready, it's like getting a first-round pick out of nowhere.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd take that in a heartbeat. Because I think there's another interesting story out there that a guy who's never played a single inning of Major League Baseball has a really good chance of pitching for this team in relief. A guy named Peyton Gray, who he's kind of like Alex Caruso, who he disappeared off the planet for a long time, and he was playing in the D leagues and all that, and then he finally made this breakthrough and got up there. This guy's been playing in international leagues and couldn't even get a minor league. Well, last time I checked, he hadn't given up a run all spring. So, you love those stories when they happen to your team, right?
For us Astros fans, Mike Burrows was their selection, and the Astros have gambled on three number 3.5 guys, hoping one of them could be a 2 and the other 2 are solid 3s. And Mike Burrows was kind of their selection of the breakout player, kind of potential number guys. One last thing for you, the MLB world, and this one fascinated me the most. The Athletic every year does organizational rankings, and it's kind of interesting. It's a 25-year ranking, the best organizations. And the way you get points, winning the World Series, losing in the World Series, losing in the Championship Series, losing in the Division Series, losing in the wild card round. And that's how you end up accruing points and stuff. And there's actually a way to get negative points too. So a 25-year ranking of organizational strength heading into 2026. The New York Yankees had been number 1 for 20 years or something. The new number 1 is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
There's no shock.
I know. Hey, okay. Their recent success. Where do you think the Texas Rangers rank over a 25-year stretch? Okay,
well, that takes you back to, 2001, I guess 2000. I'd say, there's 3 World Series appearances. So let's go 12.
11. You did good.
Yeah, pretty close.
But that's pretty good. That's the top third of all of MLB over the past, 25 years. That's a really good ranking.
But the Astros are where? Let me guess. The Astros, I'd say, they were really bad before they got really good.
There you go.
I'm going to go 9.
They're 5. They're 5.
Okay.
They're 5. When you have 4 World Series appearances, it gets you a lot of points. You nailed it though. It's 25 years. That's hard to balance out.
Yeah.
Their tanking
Yep.
also took away a lot of points because, St. Louis was in front of them. And St. Louis has had more success over 25 years, but they don't tank. So they also didn't take a lot of negatives to the torpedo. So
they might be tanking this year, though.
Man, it's hard. Their fan base will not accept tanking.
Yeah.
And the fan base culture of St. Louis is almost unprecedented, to be fair. So they have a hard time at St. Louis. They've been this tweener for, is it 4 or 5 years now, where they're kind of doing nothing because they don't know what to do.
Right.
But Houston 5, Texas 11, and to me that's a big statement about MLB in the state of Texas, where you have a top 5 and a top third in both of them. That's why the battle for the boot is the greatest rivalry in the history of sports, pro or amateur.
The Astros have owned that boot for a long time, though.
It's a smelly boot. My beloved Chicago Cubs pop up at 9, not another top third. I'll only point out one other team. I know you need to go and all, and you're important, and the place would collapse without you and everything. But Pirates are 30. That's not a shock to anyone. That wasn't what I wanted to bring up. The New York Mets, they've been spending for how long now? And they're making trades, and they sign free agents. And, I've heard about the Mets forever, right?
Right.
20.
Oh, they so badly want to be the Yankees and the Dodgers, and they just make bad decision after bad decision.
It's absolutely horrific futility. Because, they're always making moves. And, for at least 10 of those 25 years, I know I'm right. And I would assume longer, but 20. To be in the bottom third with all the work they did, that's worse than bad to be that inept.
Yeah, it is. And that doesn't hurt me at all because
I'm going to sleep fine. Text message from Brad from Royal Oak. Got a text message. I've not heard anyone say Rashawn Agee has the wilt the stilt beard. I got to admit, I haven't heard that either.
I haven't either, but he plays like the round mound of rebound, doesn't he? He reminds me of little Barkley in the way he manages to get so many rebounds and without so much size.
He's incredible. Hey, have an amazing weekend. Beat the hell out of OU 4 straight days is fine with me. I'll check in with you next Thursday. Thank you always, brother.
See you, buddy.
Later. Rusty Burson, Aggie historian and author, joining us on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you ever need a metal building, a custom metal building, and it's from the ground up, they do it. Check out D4landservices.com. D4landservices.com. When we return, and if you were with us at 11 o'clock, and I think I mentioned it also somewhere in the 12 o'clock, but the ticket booth will open, and that is thanks to Dixie Tire Company.
Your home for the Houston Astros is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. And, okay, when I was visiting with Cedric Golden, the whole first madness of March, previously 31-0, Miami of Ohio got upset by UMass in their conference tournament. They're now 31-1. Joe Lunardi, just to tell you how big a deal that was, updated his bracketology on the spot. Miami of Ohio is now the top team on the last 4 in at 31-1. Their problem had been they have no quad one games, not wins or losses, like no quad one games. Well, the loss to UMass gives them a quad 4 loss. Quad 4 losses are torpedoes, poison arrows. That's bad. Now, that further compounds the fact they got a blankola in the quad 1. I'm someone who am struggling to comprehend, play along. How could a 31-win team not be in? But I love the analytics. I like how numbers in sports can help us understand. I'll just call it beyond the obvious, right? But if you're 31 wins, I mean D1, but you've played nobody in the quad 1, and then you have that loss in the quad 4, there's a story about your team. I don't know how obvious it is you're in. They took the bad loss. There's just things you don't do. They did one of them today. And Lunardi updated bracketology. They're the first team on the last 4 in. Pretty brutal. I can move on from that, but still just violently brutal to me. We are coming down the stretch here on the Louie Bellina Show. Thursday, yeah. 2 things. Text messages, 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. And the ticket booth is about to open. Listen in to win. When I throw up the bat signal, we'll be looking for caller 5. I did not. Don't call now. I did not yet. No. Throw up the bat signal, but be ready. When it's time, it shall be time. 979-693-1150. Program it in your phone. Be ready. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. The rest of the world of sports, things that have been catching my attention. NFL, this free agency week. One of the things that's been kind of snuck out there, I don't think it's a trial balloon. Every time I've seen this, it becomes true. The NFL is, quote unquote, exploring the possibility of playing a game, a single game, the day before Thanksgiving. The added day to the schedule could be this year. They don't want to wait. And that would be Wednesday, I'll go at night, November 25th. So NFL, look, playing these off games, because if they add that game, they put it up for bid. It's a more money game, right? So in 2024, they played 2 games on Christmas Day. That's when December 25th was on a Wednesday. The league had a Christmas triple header this past year. So we would have a Thanksgiving Wednesday night game and the Thanksgiving triple header game. And look, it works. the network streaming pay. The ratings this past year for anything holiday NFL were the highest like ever, or second highest ever, highest streaming ever. So I get why they want more Christmas, more holiday games, because it worked. For me, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too busy during the holidays. I can't take. No. I think for a second. I should think more often. I don't have every service. I can't watch every game. And it pisses me off when the Steelers are playing X and Y and Z and I don't have that service. Therefore, and Christmas, middle of the day, or Thanksgiving, or whatever holiday it is, the idea of having to go out to a bar because I want to watch the Steelers, hard pass. Moving on. Do you think the Cowboys are going to trade for Max Crosby? Now, Crosby spoke for the first time ever since the Ravens canceled the trade. And the Max Crosby failed trade is one of the hottest topics in the NFL, I feel like, ever. But it's just offseason where everything feels like ever. The thought is the Ravens canceled it because they realized they made a bad trade. Buyer's remorse. And they were allowed to, because everything we're hearing with free agency does not become official until the next league year. So you can. Failed physical. They kind of knew this is all done, and they just realized, this is a bad deal. So they backed out of it. Max Crosby said, I'm a Raider, which, counter to everything, which is why he was traded in the first place. And the Raiders thought they had it made. They already committed. I don't know if you noticed it. The Raiders had one $10 million per year salary average player on their roster. And when free agency opened, they signed 7 with the idea that Crosby was going to be gone. So the Raiders, who can't win for losing, and they got tons of money space. This is not something that's going to screw them, but they didn't make these moves with the idea of having Crosby. And they thought with the picks they'd got, it's Baltimore just. And then, with the money they saved by not signing him, they went and got Trey Hendrickson, who was the number 1 ranked player on many free agency lists. Wow. And the NFL's there might be some evaluation of the free agency process because this was possible. Crosby can't stay with the Raiders. The pretty ugly, nasty split there. So that's not, even though he said, I'm a Raider. Free agency, Mike Evans. Looks like he will wrap his career up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. San Francisco 49ers. 3 years. Total value could hit $60.4 million. $16.3 million is guaranteed. Mentioned this earlier, looking at the latest mocking of drafts. San Fran was the first round landing spot for KC Concepcion. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and San Fran. But San Fran seemed to be really common. San Fran probably not taking a wide receiver first round now. Does that bump Concepcion out of the first round? We'll find out on draft day, but still one of those things kind of caught my attention. But Mike Evans, again, Hall of Famer, he will be. Got paid. 12-year veteran, 3-year, $20 million per, tons of incentives. Congratulations. The Texans, I don't know what to believe necessarily. They made, Reed Blankenship, the 3-year deal, great help in the secondary. But I've seen nothing but heavy criticism for their O-line moves. But the first thing they did, the trade of Titus Howard actually is not as bad as it looks, because the Texans were playing him as versatile, where he bounced back and forth between guard and tackle. And he only wanted to play tackle, and to keep him was going to keep him unhappy. So in order to allow him to play tackle, they had to trade him. Okay. But when they gave extensions, the money they gave to Ingram, and who was the other? Brown, were kind of out of whack market-wide, especially the money to Ingram. People that do this on the analytics side, and Ingram got $12 million per year. His actual production to market value, he was worth about 4.5, max of $5 million. And they gave him a $12 million a year deal. So people are just, it's just, what how did Cesario come up with the deals he gave to both of them, let alone Ingram? I'm just kind of shaking my head. Because when it comes to O-line, was Cesario thinking keeping some kind of continuity by keeping that side of the line? So he overpaid, but he overpaid like maybe double per year for Ingram. That couldn't just be it. The Dallas Cowboys, no splash. Nice. Is it enough? They made 2 trades because they're having to go with a different style of, D linemen. So the 2 guys they got a year ago are both gone now. Nice move by getting Jalen Thompson, who's going to be familiar with the system. 3-year safety, former Cardinal. The trade for Rashawn Gary. There was the head scratcher, quarterback Sam Howell, when they already have a full quarterback room. Cowboys have to, for every 2 moves, 1 move, there has to be a head scratcher, right? That's just Cowboys football. But this NFL free agency has been fascinating. Tons of mid-tier movement, but how many needles got moved seems to be one of the bottom line questions. If you're a Cowboys or Texans fan, I don't think either one is necessarily doing cartwheels and celebrating championships to come. I'm a Steelers fan. They picked up the running back. They got Dowdle. They picked up the wide receiver. I know they're getting better, but O-line, hey, Texan fans, Steeler fans could have beer together and compare O-line issues. When we come back, I'm going to wrap things up. It's the Louie Bellina Show Thursday from inside the Charles Schwab studio. Low cost, full service, and best of all, local. The local part, Mark Sim right here in College Station. You get to experience a modern approach to wealth management with Mark Sim with Charles Schwab. Find Mark online at schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated, member SIPC.
We are going. Are you ready? The Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, where defeat isn't bitter if you don't swallow it.
It's time. Oh, here we go!
Let's go! The Louie Bellina Show. We're kind of done, but not quite. I do want to thank Dixie Tire Company again. Inside the ticket booth, you can win tickets to all the places you want to be, and of course, food, places you want to eat. Dixie Tire Company, family owned. Dixie Tire Company's been serving Bryan College Station, I think it's like 37 years now. They're located at 301 West William Joel Bryant Parkway. That's in historic downtown Bryan, across from the fire station. They're open Monday through Friday till 6, Saturday till 1, and you can always call them at 775-TIRE, T-I-R-E. Tomorrow's Friday, because I am calendar awesome. 11:35, a listen in. Trisha Ford, A&M softball head coach, will preview LSU. Tomorrow, 11:55, high school sports update. Thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Noon till 1, Bryce Jones, barbecue pitmaster, will join me here inside the Charles Schwab studio. And tomorrow, noon till 1, I'll open up the ticket booth again, thanks to Dixie Tire Company. There's something escaping me. I'll remember. I'll let you know. Oh, the Zone newsletter. Haven't mentioned it in a while, but I do recommend that if you're a fan of the Zone, and not even the Louie Bellina Show, it could be Texags Live, Chip Howard Sports Talk. You listen to Aggie Baseball in the Zone, Aggie Football in the fall on the Zone. We have Houston Astros Baseball, which is going to be starting up in about 2 weeks. Astros Baseball is on the Zone, and select games are on Willie 1550 AM. And that's thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Astros Baseball in the Zone and Willie 1550 AM is thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. We also have, Westwood 1 NFL, Sunday, Monday, Thursday Night Football and the Super Bowl. Coming up, March Madness. That's right. We have all the games from Westwood 1. And on the Zone, we have a lot of different things going on. We gave away tickets to the Troubadour Barbecue, festival and music festival. The Troubadour coming up. We gave away tickets to go see Creed at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, thanks to Grohalski Sausage. All next week, every day, I have Chili Fest tickets to give away. With all this going on at the Zone, we could all use a little help. Like, are you supposed to write it down? How are you supposed to keep track? You're not. The Zone newsletter is how you keep track of everything with the Zone. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., you get an email, and it is short, it is easy, it is quick. We give you links to all the things so you can get more info if you need it. We keep you up to date with every contest, event, and all the shows that day, everything going on. You can subscribe to the Zone newsletter, zone1150.com. Keep up to date, everything Zone. I got to go tomorrow at 11. Peace.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7. Thanks to our Aggie broadcast sponsors who make it happen. The Sleep Station, Aggie-owned, Aggie-operated, and a proud Texas company. Zwerneman Flooring, service, selection, style, and Rebel Draft House in the Northgate District. Listen to the games on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.